Hi everybody, Josh Ford here, running for the 2018 U.S. Senate seat against Elizabeth Warren in my Future of Rebuilding Democracy campaign. I want to talk about what's going on with blaming Russia for everything, okay? It's absolutely crazy that President Obama continues to pull his propaganda machine. And you know what, I don't even want to say it was President Obama because he's just another puppet of the corporations that we end up having to fight right now to get our democracy back. Too many people, corporations, the oligarchy have enormous amounts of money to influence our supposed real news. I call it the propaganda media, from Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Time, BNR. I mean, these are supposedly our mainstream sources of media, and they're all owned by six corporations. That's it. And they are lying to us left and right. And I'll tell you why. Because war for the news is profitable. It makes great TV, death, destruction, things blowing up. Oh, good times. You know what? America has been at war for 16 years. It has to end. We have to take back our country. We have to make our voices heard. And it's not going to be an easy transition because even now, we stopped Hillary and her attempts at World War III with Russia, which was, I couldn't have been happier about Hillary not being elected. But right now we have Representative Elijah E. Cummings, who was speaking about it being an absolute certainty that Russia was involved in the 2016 presidential election. Frankly, I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, because if you remember during the primaries, he was the one who was saying that Bernie Sanders had nothing to do with the march with Dr. Martin Luther King. And when we actually took the time to look up the photos, Mr. Cummings and Bernie were about 5 feet apart in the crowd. So we can tell right there that Mr. Cummings does not serve the interests of the American people. He has his own agenda, whatever it may be. He's not a man that I'm going to trust to tell me that we need to go to war with Russia because they got involved in our 2016 elections. If Putin, the president of Russia, had actually wanted to interfere with our elections and interfere with our government, all he really would have had to do was donate to the Clinton Foundation. We all know that Hillary and Bill had their pay-to-play schemes, and all anybody had to do was drop a couple $1 million and the sky was the limit. So I have no belief in the fact that Russia had any involvement whatsoever in our 2016 election. And, right now, Hillary, all the media, they're all attacking basically Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anybody that's out there trying to make a difference, trying to provide you with the truth is, fake news. Guess what? Fake news from Debbie the Same Progressive, Tim Black, the list goes on of people out there that are the average American that are trying to make a difference in this country, trying to give you the truth about what's going on. And, if the mainstream media, if Hillary, if, they care so much about fake news and how it affected them when it's because it was the truth, if these people really cared about our democracy, cared about our country, they would have taken care of Flint, Michigan. Those poor people still don't have untainted drinking water. They would have put an end to the pipeline in North Dakota, the abuse of the Native Americans, and our hero veterans that are out there holding line right now, being arrested in the freezing cold because they're out there making a difference for the United States and our democracy. We have to realize that our government is against us right now. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It is, especially if you're just coming into this. I've been fighting this battle for 2.5 years now, trying to make a difference for the American people. From Bernie to Jill Stein to getting myself elected to the U.S. Senate now to try and make a difference. And I just want to encourage people. We need to step up. The only way we're going to fix this country and what's wrong with this country is if we step up and get involved and run. You can be a sheriff like me, you can be a doctor, you can be military. It doesn't matter what your background is. As long as you got a good heart and a decent head on your shoulders, you can run for the U.S. Congress. You've got 2 years till the midterms to make a difference and change this country. We need an entirely new Congress. It's something like 96% of Congress is up for re-election. That is a huge number. That means we can turn this country around in one election. But it's going to take people like you and me running in every state. I know there's the new Congress out there. It's online. They're running people that have been recommended to them, teachers, doctors, stuff like that. And I give them all the most credit in the world. And I'm proud of anyone who steps up to take on the corruption that we currently deal with. Don't listen to mainstream media. You know what? Go online. Find the truth for yourself. We have to, it takes some digging sometimes. It really does, to figure out what's really happening, what's going on in this world. But it's worth the struggle. It's worth the fight, because our country needs us to fight. We need to stand up to the mainstream media. We need to stand up to the corporations and the big banks that are killing this country. All they care about these days is the bottom dollar. They don't care about you. They don't care about your families. And they don't care about what their decisions do to affect you, as long as they're getting rich. That is not how I think. That is completely unacceptable. And when I go to Washington, D.C. to take care of Massachusetts and this country, I'm going to ask myself a couple of simple questions every time I have to vote for something. Is this good for my family? Is this good for Massachusetts? Is this good for our country? And will it help the world? God willing. Those are the kind of decisions I want to have to make to benefit everybody. So I'm looking forward to going to Washington. I'm looking forward to you voting for me. And I'm looking forward to hearing about others who are stepping up to run. So this is Josh Ford running for the 2018 U.S. Senate seat in Massachusetts in my Future of Rebuilding Democracy campaign. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.